Hi everyone, my name is Kay Kalthoff and welcome to a Stamping to Share video. As promised, I'm doing week 2 of our Thoughtful Branches sneak peek. This product bundle from Stampin' Up! Will be available to order on August 2nd, and it is a gorgeous bundle. This features all kinds of trees, some birds, apples, leaves, and lots of sentiments for you, and then it has a coordinating Thoughtful Branches thinlits. And so it is wonderful. You can actually take this, as I showed last week, and create not only a canopy for your tree, but also, as you can see here, it also creates a beautiful hydrangea card. And so there's just so much to love about this bundle. And today I'm going to share something to help you love it even more. We're going to create a card featuring tamarack trees. Now, if you're from northern Minnesota or Wisconsin, you know that seeing these gorgeous crushed curry tamarack trees in the fall amongst the bright green pines is just a gorgeous sight. And so I'm going to show you how to recreate this card. This is the inside panel. So let's go ahead and get started. We are going to have a base of chocolate chip. This is 5.5 by 8.5, and I've scored it at 4 1/4. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold that. I'm going to use my bone folder. So I'm just going to press along the crease line, and then we can set this aside because we're going to be stamping the inside panel first. The inside panel is a piece of Berry Vanilla, 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to go ahead and take my stamp mat. This is a photopolymer set, and we're going to go ahead and do our stamping first. And so I'm going to ink up the wood part of the tamarack tree. We're just going to stamp this down here in the lower left, and then we're going to start building our needles onto this tamarack tree. So I've inked up the needles with crushed curry because this is the fall color. If you wanted to create a tamarack tree in its spring and summer colors, you would just go ahead and use a green. And so, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to stamp this several times because we want this tree to have a lot of depth. So I'm not actually trying to stamp it perfectly. I want this to be really lush and full. So about 3 times gives you a really nice looking tamarack tree, as you can see. Then we're just going to take our sponge, and this has a little bit of crushed curry on it. So I'm just going to sponge some crushed curry down here at the bottom. And then I also have a sponge, just a wedge of sponge, and I'm just going to add a little tiny dab of some chocolate chip in there. Then I have another sponge. I'm inking it up in soft sky. I'm just going to add a little sky to the background here. And so we're just going to put a little touch of blue all throughout the inside panel of this card. And you can see how I'm doing that. I'm leaving lots of space because that's the way it looks on a day that has some clouds. You just see a little bit of blue through the clouds. So we're ready to put this on the inside panel of our card. So I'm just going to use a little snail at the top. We can center this in so that all 4 corners or all 4 borders are nice and even. And we are done with the inside panel. The outside panel, we have a piece of Berry Vanilla paper. This is 3 by 5.5 inches. And I'm going to start by actually stamping my sentiment first. I want to make sure I know where that's going to be because that sort of determines exactly where my trees are going to go. So I'm just going to put the sentiment right up here at the top in the middle. Give that a good press and release. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our trees in. So again, I start with the wood part of the tamarack tree. And we're just going to start with one up here. And now I know how high I can go because I can see where my 4U is. And so we'll put one there, put one in the middle, bring that down pretty far. And then we're going to do one more up here at the top, I think, right about here. There we go. And then we can go ahead and we can stamp a base for these trees to be on. There is a little bit of ground included with this. So I'm going to stamp this so that the hole, there's actually a hole, I don't know if you can see this, but through the, in fact, let me stamp this off so that you can see what I'm talking about. So let me hold this up. You can see on the scratch paper, there's actually a hole through the ground. That's where you want to stamp so that the tree sits right there. And so we're going to go ahead and do that 2 more times. 1 more here, and then 1 more up here. All right, so we have all of our stamping done. And again, that's all done with chocolate chip ink. Now we can go ahead and again, we're going to put these gorgeous fall needles onto our tamarack trees. So I'm using crushed curry, and I'm just going to stamp each one about 3 times. I think that's about the perfect look. And again, I don't want it to be exactly right on top of each other, so I'm moving it just a littlest bit every time I stamp to make sure that these trees have lots of fullness and lots of bright color. And so 1 more time for this tree here, and we are done with the tree stamping. And so now all we need to do to make this panel look perfect is to do a little bit more sponging. Well, actually some sponging, since we haven't done any sponging yet. Let's see, I better bring my scrap paper back in. So we're going to add some yellow sponging down here at the bottom because some of the needles have fallen. Then we're going to take the sponge with the chocolate chip in. I'm going to add some sponging down here, maybe a little bit more. There we go. And I think too we're going to go ahead and just sponge these edges here with chocolate chip as well. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to take the soft sky on a sponge again, and we're going to put that soft sky just randomly in the trees here and all around our sentiment. But not everywhere. We're not going to fill the whole thing in. We want to leave it nice and airy at the same time. So now I can take my soft sky and we're just going to sponge the edge all the way around this card. And this panel is complete. So we are ready to go ahead and put this panel onto another panel. So the other panel that we have here is a piece of crushed curry. This is 3 1/4 by 5 1/2. And when I was getting this panel ready, I must have had ink on my fingers or something, because you'll notice a mark down here, but that's not going to matter. It's going to get covered up. So we're just going to put this vanilla stamped panel on with some snail. And that's going to go right onto this panel. Again, that was 3 1/4 by 5 1/2. That was our crushed curry panel. And then the very vanilla panel is just a 1/4 of an inch smaller. That's 3 inches by 5 1/2. So now we can go ahead and put this onto the front of our card. So we are going to use a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue to do that. I don't like using glue on very vanilla or whisper white because sometimes the glue lines show through. Not right away, but usually within a couple months or so you can notice those glue lines. And I love the wiggle room with glue. So I'm wiggling this into place so that it's exactly even, so that I have the same amount of chocolate chip on either side of this center panel. So we've just completed the card. Here's the one I've just done for you. Here is the one I had done in advance. It was so much fun to share this with you. I hope you have a great day. Thank you so much for stopping by Stamping to Share. If you need a demonstrator and would like to place a product order, we have bonus days in effect now until, let's see, it's July 31st. July 31st is the very last day. And when you purchase a $50 order, you can get $5 in a coupon to purchase things in August. And so if you purchase $50 in July, you'll get a $5 coupon, and you can use that coupon towards this wonderful bundle. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.